Hello, my name is Emmy Stasha and welcome to the final part of this webcast on qualitative research and social impact. What can we learn from action research? In this section, I'm going to talk about the importance of sustainability and also being able to recognize our own needs as action researcher. So, when we talk about sustainability, after all that work's been done, we need to think about how the advocacy will sustain itself. We need to think about the long-term consequences of the project and what will happen after you need to move on to the next. And so, it is important to enable the community to take ownership of the project and think about how they will be able to sustain the advocacy themselves once your role as a researcher has finished. Now, I told you earlier to hold on to the thought about what happened after the field work and planning with the ITA community. If we recall, we planned to do several initiatives on the ground and also conduct a follow-up exercise to examine the impact of the work on the ground. So, what happened next? Well, we did organize several events in London to raise advocacy and awareness about the indigenous Aita community. We had music festivals, we had film screenings, and we had a photo and art exhibition to really raise the advocacy and awareness of the issues on the ground. In terms of outcomes in the field, there were some improvements in terms of accessibility to the community. So the roads became better. They set up their own meeting areas in the community. So even if it is just a bunch of sticks and leaves, the community made that initiative to establish common areas where they can discuss their thoughts and ideas with each other. They also implemented their ITA-led multipurpose cooperative so they could actually take more control over their income and take control over their trade. So that was really, really good. Okay, so by the end of the first action research cycle, has the research actually achieved its empowerment agenda? Well, the answer to that is, first of all, the project actually helped to increase levels of social awareness and advocacy by bringing the community members together and encouraging them to reflect about their circumstances and what they can do to change their circumstances for the better. Second, individual and community skills were also enhanced because they became more engaged with activities and action on the ground. Thirdly, political participation was enhanced. For the first time, some of the participants actually exercised their right to vote. They also improved their control over trade, and that space for critical thinking was encouraged. These are all very good, and we should really be proud of the social change that we've achieved at this level. However, as we will see in the next slides, these are not enough. As you can see here, something rather tragic hit the community unexpectedly. By looking at these before and after pictures, it is obvious that something happened. So what was it? Was it an earthquake? Was it a typhoon? Did they relocate? Well, if you recall, in this small project, one of the action plans was to address the issue of low literacy by constructing a community literacy center. Unfortunately, dispute over land where the literacy center was built actually erupted, and in October 2006, armed men invaded the community and brutally destroyed a number of the Aita's homes. Fortunately, no deaths resulted from the incident. The literacy center was also spared from this hostile attack. However, some members of the community were traumatized as a result. As we can see in this case, it is clear that facilitating action research can have far-reaching social consequences. Interventions developed can have positive consequences, but it can also have damaging repercussions. In this case, the structural and political changes necessary to achieve empowerment require more time, which could span across generations, and it is uncertain how many more action research cycles are needed to achieve this goal. Okay, moving on from that thought, I think it is also important that we have to remember to also recognize our needs. This is an important point because this is something that we often forget. We also need to take care of ourselves. We need to recognize that it is not selfish to recognize and be aware of our needs. We need to recognize our own strengths and also our limitations. We need to be honest with ourselves and be able to ask for help when we need it. And this is where reflexivity comes into play. We need to be able to step back and reflect about what we are doing and how it is affecting us and how we are also affecting others. And when things don't go the way we plan, it is important that we are able to access adequate support, whether it is academic or social support, so we could actually maintain our sanity. In my case, I feel that I have been blessed, that I have been surrounded by wonderful people who have supported me through thick and thin. My family, my mentor, my colleagues who have all been there and have always been there to pick me up and help me get back on my feet when I fall. And it is important that we surround ourselves with these people to remind us that we are only human and we also have needs, and that we also need to take care of ourselves sometimes. We cannot function effectively as action researchers if we don't have this kind of support. So that's it. I hope that you found this webcast useful. If you would like to get in touch, here is my email address. You could email me at e.v.g.estacio@kiel.ac.uk. And if you have any thoughts or questions, please feel free to get in touch. Thank you.